Do you want your battles to look like this? Then do I have the mod list for you. I made a video about 14.03 the other day and so many of you guys wanted an install guide, so here it is. I'm going to go through my mod list and how to install it step by step. So if you guys found this video useful or enjoyed it or have any other mods you want to see install guides for, then please let me know down below in the comments. But without further ado, let's dive in and get this started so you guys can go and conquer Calradia in this awesome 14.03 mod list. So basically all the mods you're going to need are going to be on this page right here. This is 14.03, the official mods right here, and it's very simple to actually install. First things first, what you're going to want to do is come over here to the file section of it, and then you're going to want to come down to the Calradian 14.03 full 1.1 edition. Click manually install and it's going to come up with all these individual mods. You need all of these mods to actually make this mod list work. However, it isn't actually as intimidating as it may look. All you're going to want to do is come down here and just start at the bottom, press Control, and just start clicking these up. They're going to create new tabs in the top of your screen. I would avoid clicking on or downloading UI extension, Harmony, mod config, and also Butterlib from Nexus Mods. I do it on Steam, and I'll show you guys how to do that in a second. However, we'll get back to doing it. So again, just go ahead and click on all the other ones besides them four. And then quite simply, all you have to do is click manually install and then download. So again, you're going to click download. It's going to bring you to this screen, and then you're going to click slow download, and then it's going to start. Then you're going to come over to this one again, slow download. It's going to download over, same again. And for the full fix and RBM section right here, you're going to click again manually download right here, and then click slow download. Again, it'll take 5 seconds just like the other ones. Again, same thing here. You're going to come down, you can download this top one right here, the Lamlet plate weapon module. Then over here as well, you're going to come down files, you're going to find the 3-in-1, you're going to click download, and you're going to click you just download, take 5 seconds and it will download. And then over here again, same thing for the blood and smoke. You're going to come down and download this one right here, which is items only. Make sure you get the items only version of the mod. But again, same thing, manual download, slow download, and download. And then finally the RBM patch right here, you can click manually download and do the exact same thing. Now, I do recommend when you're downloading all of these mods, you just do it one by one. Obviously, if you download all 10 at the same time, it's going to take you a while. Whereas I found downloading them one individually does do it a lot faster. However, if you're going to be leaving your computer for a couple hours, maybe it's a good idea just to stick them all on download, go and live your life, go to work and come back and hopefully they're all downloaded. I also highly recommend you also download Novus Bannerlord launcher. This is a mod launcher connected to Bannerlord and basically allows you to have several different mod lists. It allows you to organize your mod list in a much easier fashion. You basically drag them from not being active to being active on the left hand side. You can save presets. As you guys can see, I have multiple different mod lists right here that I mess around with and play. It's a dream for me, and if I have multiple campaigns on, I can switch between them. And it's, yeah, again, this is Block's greatest creation right here. It's so much better than the vanilla launcher and super easy to install. Again, to install this, all you have to do is come over here to the files again with the link in the description, click manually download. Then when you've done that, again, all you have to do is basically just export this out. So you drag and drop this down into your documents or into your desktop. And then from there, again, all you have to do is then open Novus launcher right here, and it will open. Again, this is absolutely fine. So you want to run it anyway. It's all nice and safe, and it will bring it right here, and then you can start from there. And as I said, I highly recommend using it. It's an absolute dream. And if you have any major issues with it, I know it does kind of flag up on your Windows Defender now and again, but just whitelist it. Again, I've used it loads and loads of times, and there's also some troubleshooting here if you run into any specific issues. But once again, I've had absolutely no issues whatsoever. And again, this is a really good tip for anybody coming to modding for the first time. This post section is really useful for mods because you generally find people having the same issue for you, and a lot of the time there's going to be stuff that will be fixed by people giving solutions and other things. The final file we're actually going to need to download really quickly is going to be the onBlock DLL things. This is like the most common crash in general when it comes to people trying to load big mod lists for the first time, and this is just a really simple tool. So once again, come over here, go ahead and click manually download, go to slow downloads, wait for it to obviously happen, it will install, and then once again just drag and drop these files onto your desktop or something. So quite quickly as well, just to show you guys, for the Harmony and the the other mods that you do need, I just utilize them on the Steam Workshop. I find it just easier to keep them up to date whenever they have run into problems. I fix them fairly quickly, and it shouldn't interrupt with your mod's compatibility or with its stability. So I just use them on the Workshop. So what you do is come over to Bannerlord, go to Workshop, open up the most subscribed, and they'll be here right here, and literally just subscribe to Harmony, UI extension, Butterlib, and also mod config menu v5. I just subscribe to all four of these, and they just stay up to date and they'll update automatically, and it's just a great way for these mods that make everything else work to be up to their most recent update. Okay, so now that you've got all of them files downloaded, I'm pretty sure I've grabbed all of them. There may be one or two that is missing from here just because I've already downloaded them and stuck them into the file, etc. But again, there should be basically all of these here. If there's a few missing, again, just make sure you've downloaded all the ones that I said and you should be good. And if I did miss one, you'll see it and just go back and search it on Nexus Mods and download it the exact same way. What you're going to want to do is come over to your files. You're going to want to go to your wherever your Steam is located. So for example, for me, mine is New Volume. I'm going to want to come down to Program Files. I'm going to press S and come down to Steam. I'm then going to go all the way down to Steam Maps. I'm going to go to Common, then find Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord, and then go into Module files. As you guys can see, I have quite a few mods here, but still very easy. And then basically what you want to do is just drag and drop a lot of these files in. Starting with the Caradia 14.03 mod, you're going to basically come over to it, open it with WinRAR or whatever unlocker you have right here, go into the modules section, literally drag and drop these bad boys in. It's going to basically start unpacking them. Of course, I've got like all of these already installed, so I'm just going to say no and not actually do it because I've already got them. But yeah, literally all you do is just drag them, select them, and drop them in. It's important to do this one first, I think, because it's like the foundation for everything, but still super easy. And then basically just go through the rest of them, dragging and dropping. I would leave the blood and smoke section, so I drag and drop the items for blood and smoke in as you're doing everything else, but I would hold off on doing BM patch right here. So yeah, I would avoid sticking this one in until after you've got the default blood and smoke in. So again, drag and drop normal default items only blood and smoke into your module folder, and then you want to stick in the blood and smoke RBM patch afterwards. And then when it comes to the 3-in-1 fixes as well, I think you just have to drag and drop the top one in into the files like so. So again, just do something very similar like this, and then this will be there for you to mess around with when it comes to loading them up in the launcher. So once you've brought across all of those mods into your module folder, you should be able to close both of these. You then want to come over to your DLL unlocker. So remember, we downloaded this and we stock it onto our desktop earlier. Again, you come right here and you click launch me. This will open up a program. You want to accept this and let it run. This will basically go through every single mod that you have, and it will unblock them, which is a really, really useful tool. For me, of course, I've got a lot of mods, so it takes a little while, but again, it should be fairly quick, and you should end up seeing this right here once it's done. Basically, the successful script ran on your files, and they should now be all unblocked. The final thing that we're going to need to do is actually get these units in. So once again, I wanted you guys to download all of that and stick it in just so that it was working and you're all good to go. But yeah, now what you're going to want to do is come over to the file section, back on the 14.03, the original kind of page that we were on, and come all the way down here and manually download this right here. So again, the Caradia 14.03 with Night Killer update, manually download right here and click download. Okay, so once we've got that downloaded, you come back to these two files that you should still have open where your downloads are, and obviously the module folder for Bannerlord. You want to open that file we just downloaded, open it all the way up right here, go to modules, and then this is quite easy. So first things first, we want to go to the CA, so press C, and then yeah, basically search up for the CA blood and smoke items. And then once we found it right here, we want to click on it, open it up, and then basically open this up like so, and then just drag and drop these in. This will basically replace some of the weapons and guns and stuff, and then that's all nice and done. We then go back. We also have the custom unit data. So again, what we want to do is we want to open this up. We want to go back to our modules, find the custom series mod. So again, just press C until you can find it. Again, it's right here. So custom series, we want to open that all the way up. We then want to come over to custom unit data and drag and drop this file in right here. You can see I've actually already got it here, but yeah, you want to drag and drop it in. And this is like the most important step. I think a lot of people download all the mods, but they don't do this step. This will basically change all the units from vanilla to the 1403 unit. And then finally, there is also an RBM patch as well if you want to utilize it. Their configs right there. So again, you just come down to RBM, you open it up, and then you just drag and drop this stuff in. And of course, just replace the files at the destination, so it will update them, change them. And honestly, it's not a bad idea just to quickly launch this and run your DLLs again. We did change some files, maybe we should have waited. Again, there's literally no harm in doing this, just letting it run, letting it clean the files in case some stuff changed. I don't think it should, but again, there's no harm in it. Or you could just wait to this time to actually do this, but I assume you've probably already done it if you're following this step by step. So now that we've done that, you're going to want to come over and we're basically going to get the mod load order, and then we're good to go load in the game, and it's very simple from there. So come back to the Caradian 1403, a late medieval overhaul mod, go all the way down to the install instructions. Now this is a little outdated, but as long as you copy mine, it should work, and maybe the modder will update this at some point. This is for the previous update. But yeah, load up Novus launcher, or if you're using the vanilla launcher, you can do so, and then just follow to make sure you have the basis. So of course, Harmony, Butterlib, UI extension, and mod config go above the vanilla sections right here, the modules that they have. Then obviously you have the 5 or so modules of vanilla, and then that's when we start. So again, I've got a few mods on here which we don't necessarily need to show. These are additional ones, but I recommend you kind of sort out your mod list like this, because if you do it like this, then you can add stuff on a little bit later. So again, taking a look at this, we want to kind of compare it and make it as best as possible. This mod list also has a few other ones on which we don't necessarily need, like the banner bands. Again, you can download it and implement it in if you want to, but again, you just don't need to if you want to kind of just get a working mod list right away. And I'll leave some recommendations at the end of the video as well, so some additional ones that I would personally use. But yeah, as we go down, so again, our first one is RBM at the top, which is boom, done. Then we also have the Lamla plate and weapon module. I just stuck this below RBM because it's not on this list, and all the armors being together is fine. Then we have the expanded armory, BL, full fix, and RBM. Expanded armory, we want to put these two together. Then we have Orbis Terrarium, the RBM fix, and the normal one. We then also have the blood and smoke items. Custom series, we have the Sky Banner poems as well. This actually goes just below, just below these. So you could stick it in here, I don't think it really matters. Custom series, and then finally right at the bottom we have 1403. Then all we have to do is click play, this button right here, and Bannerlord should open. If you run into an issue with it saying that, an error coming up saying something about DLLs, again, just run that DLL program that we used earlier on in the video, and that should unblock them. Maybe you've installed a file, and I recommend whenever you add extra files, any extra mods to a mod list or just into your module folder, always just run that DLL, because it just does it for you automatically. And that, as I said, mentioned, that's one of Bannerlord's biggest problems. So again, I'll make no cuts here whatsoever, so you guys can see exactly what we do as we load in. Might take a little while to load up from the first time. We've got a lot of armory mods that Bannerlord is obviously going through, checking, making sure is all right, but again, it shouldn't take you too long. And basically, as long as this horse in the bottom right is still moving and hasn't frozen for like 5 minutes, you'll be good. That's one of the easiest ways. To come over, we want to load up the sandbox right here. Again, keep in mind that all of these units will not be in the game yet, so you are just loading up a vanilla campaign at the moment. Again, might take a little longer than usual because it's still just Bannerlord processing all the mods, but that's absolutely fine. So again, pick your culture as if, you know, whatever culture you want to be playing, pick your stats for whatever campaign you want to be picking and going through. You know, all of this stuff obviously does matter, so make sure you decide it all correctly. I'm just going to skip through it so I can show you. And then this is the final step, If you've done everything correctly, and I haven't made any mistakes in this video, you should be able to come over to here. You want to go to custom series, you want to go to custom units, you want to click import, and then it should be right there. I also have the other one as well, but we want the night killer one, I believe, right? Yeah, I think I want the night killer. I think that one is just vanilla. If I actually don't know what one this is. So the normal one I've downloaded is without guns. So again, you can choose depending on what one you want to pick. But again, if you want to take a look at both of them, you can do so. And you just come back to custom series, custom units, import, and you choose the night killer. That's the one with guns. The other one is without. But yeah, you go over here, and then all the units change, and it's literally that simple. Like, it's super lightweight. You can add separate mods to this if you want to, like Banner Kings, and you can see as well we now have these Swardian guns here, which we didn't have before. All the longbowmen, all the heavily armored units and stuff, and that's that's basically it. You're done. You're good to play. You're good to run off. Again, as I said, that this mod is really lightweight when it comes to what it actually does to Bannerlord. So you can implement stuff like Banner Kings or other mod overhauls that don't that have like the before factions and don't change much about Cal Radio, like recruitment wise or faction wise. You should be good. You might be able to get away with some other mods. Again, trial and error. I would recommend testing it. I would recommend that you utilize and download and play with is Raise Your Banners. This just adds so many banners, and with all the different colors of the factions, etc., it's really cool. It's not again required, but I recommend you do go download it. Again, you guys have seen how we've done it. Now that we've done and downloaded all these mod lists, you should be able to basically go off and do your own thing and trial and error, you know, when it comes to doing it. But yeah, you just download this and you download Banner Fix, and you're good to go and do exactly what we did previously. Banner Band Banners is a kind of a cool one as well. This brings a lot of different colors and kind of brings you back to the warband era of banners and stuff. And this is really cool because it also makes it so that a bunch of different like factions and colors and with the banners and stuff, it's just quite cool. And again, you can download it automatically and just do what we've done, but I won't run through an install guide. And my last bit of advice for any people out there who are struggling with mod lists: you're a pro now. You've done it. You've got this mod list working, hopefully, as long as my advice has been good enough, and you should be good to go. But one of the biggest things I recommend you doing, if you're ever running into problems with your mod list, generally it'll be like a mod or two conflicting. So generally, if there's two mods trying to do the same thing, chances are it's not going to work. It might, and you can trial and error it, but chances are if they're trying to do the same thing, it's going to cause a crash. Also, if you're trying to load a mod list and it's not working, I recommend slowly taking it apart bit by bit to find the mod. So for example, if I was loading this mod list, we know it works, but for example, if I didn't, I would maybe start off, so okay, the base of the mod is 1403, so I need 1403 here. I need custom series for this to work. I need blood and smoke for this to work, and the armor packs. It's crashing. Maybe I remove RBM and then reload. Obviously, these require it. So like, yeah, I remove these files and RBM, and then I load it up. Oh, it's still crashing. So maybe it's not RBM doing it. Maybe it's one of these files, and then so on. And then I go, okay, we try this file. I remove this from the mod list. Oh, it's still crashing. If it's still crashing, then maybe it's just the base 1403 and I've done something wrong. But chances are in mod lists, there's going to be just one individual module. And that's the best way of doing it, is basically just taking apart the mod list bit by bit, and you'll generally find the solution fairly quickly. That's going to wrap it up for the video. Hopefully it wasn't too long. Hopefully it made sense. Hopefully you guys got this working. If you want to see more tutorials on the channel, please let me know. I'm only going to do them if these videos are well received and people enjoy them and find them useful. So again, likes, comments are massively appreciated. Hopefully you guys didn't run into any issues. Of course, let me know if you got it working down below in the comments. I'll see you guys in the next one.